Former President Carter spent his years after the presidency right back where he was born and raised. Atlanta News first political reporter Doug Reardon is live for us tonight in Plains, 170 miles south of Atlanta. Doug?
Good evening, Blair. Things are very quiet here tonight. That's not at all atypical for Plains. It's a very sleepy little town, and it's one that's inseparable from Jimmy Carter and his legacy. We are standing on the main drag of Plains, Georgia right now. It's a very small, just about a block or two long stretch of roadway. But even down here, from the gift shops to the food that they serve, the famous peanut butter ice cream, everything is about Jimmy Carter. His church, Maranatha Baptist, is just up the road. The boyhood farm where he grew up is the other direction down the road, not less than about a mile from here. And so this was a place where people came to learn about Jimmy Carter during his lifetime. It will now become a place where people will come and celebrate the life that he lived. In fact, he was born in the hospital, the first president ever born in a hospital just up the road, now named for his mother, who was a nurse in her lifetime. And people are already starting to come here. Again, it is very quiet tonight. We expect that to change over the next couple days. But we talked to a gentleman who is driving from Texas, visiting family for the holidays, to North Carolina. He heard the news while he was driving on the radio, and he said he was in the right place at the right time, so he had to come by and stop.
Just to, pay my respects. Jimmy Carter will never know I'm here, but I'll know I'm here.
We expect to hear that from a lot of folks over the coming days as we cover this from here in Plains, Georgia. Now, we are not quite certain yet. We know the announcement came from President Joe Biden that state funeral will be held on the 9th, but there's a lot to do here in between. He is right now at the hospital where he passed away, where he was moved after that. There will be a motorcade that will bring him through Plains and up to Atlanta at the state capitol at some point here in the next week. Before that state funeral, he will lie in repose at the Capitol in Atlanta. We're in Plains tonight. Doug Reardon, Atlanta News First.